No, I'm just joking. Most of the time, we're not going to have an R32 refrigerant in our central air unit. It's going to be 454. So you'll always see the letter H representing that. T, obviously for TCL, C, central air. Top air dish, we are working on a unit that's going to be similar to the Daikin Fit, where you're going to have a conventional air handler with the side discharge condenser. That's going to probably be next year's model, okay? It's in the works right now, and the only reason why we don't have it available because they haven't hit the numbers yet to get the approval. Like it's not hitting the AHRI standards to get the Engineering Star rating and all that stuff. So that's why right now it's delayed. So they're redesigning it to make sure we can hit those numbers. So the minute they hit those numbers and they get that AHRI rating, we'll have it available here. But that's where they're at now. They're trying to tweak the condenser to get those numbers so we can sell it here. So that's almost ready. So variable frequency, so that's where you'll see the DV. And of course, after the U, you got your BTUs. This only comes in 4 sizes: 2, 3, 4, and 5 ton. There are no half sizes, okay? DV for the variable frequency, the number 2 is indicating 208, 230 volt single phase. On the islands, I believe they have 50 hertz, not 60 hertz. So that'll be a completely different model number. And then indoor-outdoor unit for I or O. The letter C is just saying that it's communicating capable, which means we can do that thermostat and or 24 volts. So that's how you would read basically the nomenclature of the model number, okay? Anything after the C would be any kind of revisions that have been done to the unit. If something was changed on the unit, there'll be a number there telling you that something was revised. It could be something as simple as the color. It doesn't necessarily mean have to be a component. It could be anything. They have to register that. They have to show documentation that this was revised and make that notation on the model number. It's something as simple as changing the screws. They have to make that notation. So that's where you will see, if you don't see 00, you see 01, then that's when you know, okay, something was revised. And usually, we like to try, we're going to work on trying to make sure we have a technical bulletin to describe what that revision was, whether it was a major one or a minor one. The other good thing here in the service book that I'm going to be sending you, it will have part numbers in it. You have your dimensions, you'll have your voltage, all that stuff. But what's nice about this is, I want you to take a look at this. Indoor fan motor. The 2 and the 3 ton use the same indoor fan motor. The 3 and the 4 use the same indoor fan motor. So we don't have to carry 4 different motors. We only have to carry 2 for 4 different units. Okay? Same thing with the condenser outside. So the 2 and the 3 will be the same motor. The 4 and the 5 will be the same motor. So we have less SKUs, which is nice. Okay? All your information will be on there. Broad Ocean. Broad Ocean is a very popular brand motor that all manufacturers use. You have your horsepower, your full load amps. All right. This is going to tell you how many rows are in your indoor. This is for the indoor unit. How many rows is your coil and stuff like that. All this technical data that if you need to know it, it's there for you. This particular service book, at the end of it, will have a blow-up picture of both units and all the part numbers to every single part of these 2 units. All right, so then if you need to order something, you just, you contact Ventrix, you give them that model number, and if they don't have it here, we have 3 warehouses in the United States. one in Pennsylvania, one in Georgia, and one in California. So amongst those 3 locations, we'll make sure you get that part within 48 hours. Depending on what it is, we'll air ship it to you. Okay? But we are working on having parts available at all 3 locations, especially Pennsylvania. Okay? That's finished goods and parts. Here, this is going to be in your installation book, and like I mentioned before, make sure you have your Magni Heli gauge, because that way, when you're reading in the book to set your dip switches, it's going to have this terminology here. And when you have your Magni Heli gauge to determine what am I working at right now, is how you can determine what's my fan speed. Right? And let's just say you're working on a 2-ton unit. My static pressure is 0.5. 2 tons, you want to be at 800. So you want to be somewhere around here. So you want to be either, what colors? I'm going to look mid to high or top grade. But if you're reading a 0.7 and I need to get to 800, then I'm over here at super grade. I'm going too fast, or you might even be above it. This is where you would set the dip switch and bring it down to either mid-high or mid-range. But you need to know what's it doing when it's running. So get that Magni Heli so you can measure your static pressure. Okay, and that's good for any manufacturer, any inverter product you're using. It is a very good tool to have. It's not just specific for TCL. I'm speaking to you as a technician to technicians. Okay, have that tool. Have a good set of gauges. If you're going to use digital ones, great. That has the micron gauge in there when you're pulling a vacuum, great. The next thing you want to do is get that Magni Heli. Okay, super, super important. That way you can set that dip switch right, and they get that dehumidification that they want. And when the homeowner speaks highly of you, that's when you get the recommendation. Hey, I know somebody that's going to take care. Call Luke, he's going to take care of this. Call Sam, he's going to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. That recognition, that respect. Okay? You need those tools to get you there. Okay? And without that tool, you're going to be setting this fan speed. You're going to be taking a guess at it. You're going to be guessing it. You don't want to guess. All right, so all that will be, you can find those charts in the installation book of the air handler, but like I said, I'm gonna send you this via email. As far as technical support, like I mentioned earlier, Gus is your first line of defense, right? Gus, right over here. He's the first line of defense. Because he lives locally, he's able to get, meet you at a location if he has to, or answer by phone. If it's something that that both of you can't handle, I don't want to say can't handle, but can't figure out, or there's still a problem, it's still not quite working right, then he'll escalate it to me. And then we'll FaceTime. You go to the job, we'll FaceTime, we'll do what we got to do. I do plan on returning to continue on with training, and then when I do return, we can set up site visits while I'm here. I don't mind going there to help you resolve that problem. Sometimes the homeowner may want a representative of the manufacturer to come. That would be me. You give me enough time and I'll be here. Gus and I will meet you at that job. But you have to be there. We're not going without you. You have to be there. All right?
If you want an extra hand installing a unit, I'm happy to help out as well. If you guys, whatever it is that I can help you guys be successful or support you guys in any way, don't be shy. I'm happy to help out. Reach out.
Okay. As far as location for the condenser, the slides didn't really talk about it. They want you to have 24 inches where the panel is. So you don't want that face, if you're gonna have it facing the house, then you have to be 24 inches away from the house. I think, and yesterday we were told by other contractors that they're making you twist it and turn it so that way you're not up against the house while you're troubleshooting the board. And if that's good, then that's great. If that's how it is, then that's great. All right. It comes with that fitting so you can make that turn and make it look pretty. But that's good. Keep, if it's going to be that way, then you can get a little bit closer to the house. Then do the industry standard 16 inches. But the reason why TCL did that is because they want you to be able to be in between the house and the unit to troubleshoot it. But if the local codes are making you twist it, perfect. Then you can get a little bit closer. Because sometimes you don't have that 24-inch space. But you can do 16 to 18, whatever the industry standard is. All right. Shrubbery, yeah, you want to have the shrubs, at least a foot away from it. Let the homeowner know, hey, trim this, the inside of the shrub, give me some space here so it can breathe. Basic stuff. Installation, of course, if you're up in an attic, I'm sure they make you put a secondary pan, right? And you put 2 float switches in there, right? Do they make you do that?
I don't make you, but you're supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely put 2 float switches. One in the secondary pan, one in the main drain line, absolutely. So that way if this ever leaks, you don't want to be responsible for paying that water damage. But yeah. In our books, it doesn't say you have to have that on there, but again, I'm speaking as a technician to technicians. Cover your ass. Put the float switches in there. Put it in both. Absolutely. Traps. There's so many different ways to do a trap. Because it's on the negative side of the system, the drain line, you do have to have a trap on it, whether it's going to be outside or inside. Make sure you have a trap on it, okay? Here's your minimum 12 inches, of course, if you're in an area that's in a flood zone or snow drifts, we don't have a stand. We don't sell a stand for you to lift it off the ground. That's going to be third party. But if you have to put a riser, put your riser. All right. Piping length, we're talking max 164 feet, but the 2 and the 3 cannot reach that. That compressor cannot pump up to 164, but the 4 and the 5 can. And just like your condenser of the ductless product, if the compressor is above the air handler, what are we doing with the line set? Inverted trap. Yep. Same rule applies.